film a bedroom
Well, they were
scene.
twin beds. Yeah, they definitely.
Yeah, and of course they were twin beds, but they were actually sitting on the same bed, which is very suggestive.
But we know what went on when the lights went off and the TV camera was off.
But look at how much we've changed. That's the idea. We used to be very much in fear of losing control of our sexual energy. Oh my God, what would that mean? You know, and because of that, we have overextended a lot of our restrictions and fears of this.
Right. In movies and television, that's just one example of where you'll see the changes today. And I think they're pushing the limits every year.
All the time. All right, let's go on to the next one here.
Spirit knows no division and is constantly attempting to balance your own energy. Sex is the act of blending your energy with another who has a different balance or imbalance.
Okay, so the way to think about this is pretty simple. Let's just say I've got this big bowl of water, okay? And, well, let's say it's a pan full of water. It will be a little easier, okay? Now, the pan of water, energy, water in there, which is the group actually calls water energy. But basically, that energy is always going to find its level, isn't it? If you tilt the pan this way, it's going to level out and fall all to one side. You tilt the pan this way, it's going to go over here and level out on this side. That's what we do with sexual energy. We basically, because of this polarity of this planet Earth, basically, duality that we've been in, we basically choose male or female. Now, many times, I've talked to Ilra about this, I have chosen male many. I'm comfortable as a male. I'm not comfortable as a female. I have done that before. Ilra told me one time that on another planet, he was actually married to me, and he was the masculine.
Oh, wow.
And he said he made a horrible woman, basically. So I basically didn't fit too well into that. So what do? I come in with my imbalance. We'll get to that in just a minute. But basically, I'm imbalanced. As much as I'd like to find my balance, I came in with a very heavy tilt toward the masculine.
And I came in very, very feminine. And I've worked throughout my life to get more of my masculine side in.
Right. And,
yeah.
I've since being in this work, I used to be a general contractor.
Oh, very male.
Most of the words are 4 letters.
Oh.
I mean, you know, that's all you do. But, so
well,
the shift for me
yeah.
has been huge, too.
Well, mainly in the area of communication, because he could not express feelings. That was not the manly thing to do, to show any weakness.
We don't do that.
And now, you know, since I am so balanced, more balanced in my female male, and he is as well, that's where our relationship works, because we're balanced, and then we can bring it together as a relationship.
Well, and it's perfectly okay to be out of balance. That's the thing we do. But what happens with any energy, all energies find the path of least resistance and find their own balance, always. So keep that in mind as we go through here. Here's the next one, huh? Oh, I'm sorry, that's the one I did. Let's try this one.
In a field of duality, you can carry unequal balances of male and female energy. The nature of all energy is to seek balance. The balance of male-female sexual energy is what is now before all humans.
I think we just said that, so we'll go on to the next one. We have just a few of these that we're going to read, guys, and show you kind of the basis of it before we go into the channels.
As a result of this imbalance, your sexual energy is strongest when another soul reflects your energy with a balance of their own. This is the nature of sexual relationships.
This is part of what we do. How do we choose partners? Well, we think we've got all these ideas and this list, and they have to look this way, and they have to be interested in this, and they have to be this age group, and they have we have all these belief systems around what that is. But in fact, what it is the majority of the time, you are actually choosing someone, you are attracted sexually to someone because they are out of imbalance as much as you are, but the opposite way. That's the idea. If I'm feeling full of my thing and I'm tilted all this way, I'm going to fall in love with somebody who's tilted the other way. Did I do that right? But that's basically what it is. So this is one of the ways that we balance ourselves, is to have relationships with other people as well. and balance it that way.
Well, and your sexual attraction to someone is very individual, because, I will share this with you that Steve and I were sitting at a restaurant having lunch one day in another country, I forget, Latvia,
Must be Latvia.
where there are very many beautiful women there. They're known for that, I think.
They're known for the high cheekbones. A lot of models come from
there.
Latvia, apparently.
But we were sitting outside in this balcony, and this beautiful woman starts to walk by, and I said, Steve, look at her. Isn't
Do I
she
have a
beautiful?
wife or what? She shows me all the beautiful women to make sure I don't miss them. Is that awesome
because
or
I
what?
have confidence in my own
Exactly.
sexual energy
Exactly.
that I can do that. And what does that do? He'll see her, go, wow, yes, stir up that sexual energy, and I'm the winner because I get to receive it from him.
Works all the time.
It is good. But Steve might do the same thing. He'll say, not that you don't do it as usually as much as I do.
have trouble
but
finding out
he
what
will
you're
say,
attracted to.
He'll say, look at that guy. I bet you think he's really hot. And I go, nah.
9 times out of 10, she go, no. I go,
But he's probably a very nice person.
I have trouble finding what she's attracted to.
You know what I'm attracted to is confidence. When a man shows that's why I fell in love with you at 16 years old.
16 years old.
You maybe were faking it, but you had that confidence.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Now she knows all my secrets.
Oh, yeah.
We've been together a while, guys. All right, so let's go through this and see where we're at. I think we did this one. So the idea here is that basically we're trying to balance. We're trying to always balance, even if we're not aware of it. So what does this seeking balance really look like, and how do we do that all the time? Well, we come in with imbalances. We know. You can see the imbalance here. The guy's heavier than the girl. Real simple. And we try to figure out whatever we need to do. Basically, a lot of our motivations on this planet are due to seeking this balance that we're looking for. So keep that in mind as we go forward here through some of this. And we're going to show you some pictures here. What I really want to show you when I show you these pictures, and I'll try to tell you which ones are which and so forth. We'll kind of go through them. We got some more reading to do here too. But look at the eyes. That's where you find sexual energy, is in the eyes.
Yes.
Can you see her?
I mean, that's love right there.
She is just, well, it's love, but she's also full of playful sexual energy. You can see she's about to tickle him or something or giggle.
And this brings up a very good point. Sexual energy can be felt from, adolescence to until you pass on to this, from this world.
What a way to go.
Yes. I mean, why can't an 85-year-old couple feel that spark for each other?
Absolutely. And, well, we're finding this is much more. We've always getting, as we get older, we thought, oh well, that was for a long. You know what? I got news for you. Even if your equipment stops working, sexual energy is there, and we're going to use it in different ways, no matter what, because it's what lights us up in these bodies in the first place. So there is all kinds of things we can do. This is just downright sexy because of the intimacy, which is what that's all about.
And also, you can see the humor that they share with each other just from her smile.
Not taking it too seriously.
But that it can be a way to bring in sexual energy between two people, is to joke about it, to be playful.
Well, some of the sexiest stuff is laughter. Absolutely. Well, we'll talk about it.
You like my dirty laugh.
I like her. Well, you're going to hear it. You're going to hear it today.
All right. Energy in any form crosses the veil freely, as it has finite and infinite properties and exists in all dimensions. The base energy of all energies is felt in human form as love. You get regular infusions of love energy from home.
So we basically get regular infusions of love energy from home. Almost like Ilra talks about being over our shoulder many times.
This is felt this is felt within your physical body as sexual energy. The vibrations that you experience during moments of sexual pleasure as humans are the same vibrations that we live in all the time.
I'm ready to go home.
Take
me home.
I think you asked the group at one time, is there sex on the other side?
We were in front of a large audience in Nijmegen, Holland.
Oh my, you remember.
Rana Herman was there, and somebody in the audience asked about sexual energy. They said, what about sex? What about, what is that? What is that? Why is it such a big deal? And is there sex on the other side of the veil? That was one of my original questions when the group came in. I didn't tell anybody, but, you got a group on your shoulder, you ask them personal questions sometimes. So anyway, because all these people were talking at the time, this was quite a few years ago, but all these people were talking about coming in as gender neutral, and that we were all going to become one sex, and there would be no more sex, and when you go home you don't need that division, so there is no sex. I'm not sure I wanted to go, to be honest with you. And then they told me this, and I said, okay, I'm ready. Because basically we live in that energy all the time. We only create it occasionally here when we either run a lot of sexual energy, because there's other ways of experiencing this besides the acts of sex. There are many ways. Well, a person who has a Kundalini experience is not generally in the process of a sexual process when they're doing it. Most of the time they're in a grocery store, or they're watching a video like we're doing or something. They're not expecting it. And boom, the channels open. The energy races up and down the spine, and it's problematic for most people, because basically they are walking around having orgasms all the time. Well, that's exactly kind of what happens to them.
And it's very common to go into fear about this. We talked about this one time.
You feel like you lose control.
And I did get an email from a lady who said, I felt this, and she was in the grocery store, and it scared her. She says, I feel like I have no control over my body.
She basically felt like she couldn't shut it off, which would scare anybody.
But, fear is only the unknown. And once you feel comfortable with your own sexual energy, then you go, well, that's pleasant, and let it go.
You learn how to just flow with it and so forth. And, of course, when a Kundalini experience happens, it's basically because all the channels open up at once. And you basically get flooded with energy that you have been holding back very quietly. And that does settle down. It does settle. Takes some time, depending on each person. It does settle down to a point where you can live in that energy all the time, and you'll remember those times that you were so embarrassed because you couldn't function and so forth, but in reality you'll be able to control it.
But you can have sexual energy, that feeling in anywhere, like a grocery store. Say you're walking down the aisle and there's a person that you find very attractive, and you just have a moment when you share a smile, and that's all. Your eyes are bright, they meet each other, and then you go on your separate ways. But isn't that nice to experience that, just for that quick moment?
It is, and it's almost like two spirits sparking each other.
Right.
That's the best. And does it mean you have to go off and have an affair with them or change your life? No, it doesn't. It means you had a moment in the grocery store, which was kind of nice. That's the deal, and that we highly encourage.
I'm going shopping. Okay, now.
Wait, turn up the air. No, I'm kidding. All right, let's bring this back in.
Okay.
There we go.
Beautiful picture. It is one of the most important tasks of your higher self to keep those energy infusions coming. That energy is what keeps you alive. This energy is what allows your spirit to take form as a human. Sexual energy illuminates the body with enough light force that it breathes life into dust. Illuminates. I love that word. That's exactly what it does.
It's the illumination.
Yes. When you feel that energy, you just light up, and it shows through your eyes and your smile.
Now, a lot of people disagree with me on how we're categorizing this, because we are categorizing this as life force energy, as basically the base energy that runs through us. But if you stop and think about it, and just for a while take this on and play with this a little bit and see what we're talking about. The stuff that actually lights you up, makes you more alive, brings more of your spirit into your body. That is sexual energy, according to the group. It's not what is always defined as sexual energy, but that is the most powerful, creative energy we have on planet Earth. And not only are we all looking to balance ourselves, but the planet itself is now balancing with a new feminine energy, which is not about to take over. We've been out of balance before. Even the planet was out of balance, and now we're going to settle somewhere in the middle. But that means that the feminine has to come up, and we have to make space for that in all of our lives, in our thinking, in our businesses, in our private lives, every other part of it.
But we are making
empower the feminine energy.
We are making room for it. You can see it in everywhere you look, all areas of life.
I've been watching some of the interesting things on the History Channel, and there's some fascinating shows on all the time, and one of them is all about